Here we go. We're live.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the FightFit Podcast, episode number 1. Hope everybody is... There's the alarm. We're live. It's official. Hope everybody's having a wonderful long weekend. Thank you so much to anybody who's listening. I hope there's somebody listening. I hope we're not just talking to ourselves.
Sure, it has to be.
Just a quick sort of intro, like just a little bit of context. I'll be hosting the podcast. My name's Jake. Today we've got this beautiful specimen next to me, Ruan, and we're going to be going through a little bit about FightFit, about the games, the challenge, and just anything to do with FightFit. So do you want to maybe give a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah, cool, man. So my name's Ruan. You guys obviously, well, most of you know who I am. I've been involved in FightFit for, probably coming up 11 years now.
Almost since day dot.
It's yeah, man. So I was a fresh Kiwi kid off the boat, jumped and moved to Melbourne in 2008, I think. And I was lucky enough to get a job at FightFit, and then as a trainer, taking classes and PT sessions. And fast forward 10 years, and here we are. Opened FightFit Collingwood 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, still loving it. Still love every day.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
How did you get involved? Who did you know from FightFit?
Knew no one, man. So I was either going to work for Good Life St Kilda, or FightFit. So luckily, one day this guy called me up called Joe. He said, "Hey, do you want to come in and have a chat?"
Yeah.
It's just luck, man. Just pure luck that I
Really?
got the job. Yeah.
So did you know him from boxing connections then, or was it just sort of headhunted?
I had no connections, man.
Wow.
I'll say I was headhunted, but it was I applied for jobs obviously before I came over, and FightFit I knew from when I saw the name FightFit brand and what it looked like and kind of what they stood for. Was, that was the place I wanted to work for sure. Yeah.
And what was it about the FightFit sort of the ethos that you really gravitated towards, I guess?
Yeah, look, man, I guess FightFit for us now, it is a place where people love to come to train.
Yeah.
And it's also a place where like our trainers actually love to come to teach our members, share advice, share life tips, and help them out through all different kinds of things. So I guess that was one of the main attractors is the people involved.
Yeah. So just for a little bit of background as well, I'm also a member at FightFit. I've done a FightFit challenge, and on that sort of note, that's the thing that I really loved about it too, was the attitude that everybody has. I find it's not like an egotistic sort of place as well.
No, man.
Everybody leaves that sort of stuff at the door. It's a community, a family, and like we all just want to see each other sort of succeed.
For sure, man. So that's the thing with FightFit. It's so awesome. Like it doesn't matter, how tall, skinny, fat, whatever you are. If you're there and you want to learn how to box or kickbox, we're there to teach you.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place, man. All the trainers are great.
Yeah.
But it's mostly the members that make it amazing, and the community that they've built. Especially you'd know from the challenge. Like, training hard for those 8 weeks, like the friendships that you've made.
Totally.
Those 8 weeks, even though you have to fight them at the end.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. But
it was. I mean, to this day, really, we've got a group of guys who are still training together every week. We've got, and it's like a WhatsApp group that we all chat in. We've got every Saturday we're doing sparring sessions with Breno. Awesome. And we hang out, we go and watch the boxing or the UFC events together. So awesome, the friendships that I've made are just priceless. And when I'd only been at FightFit for about a month when I signed up for the challenge, and I was just I was at the desk and I was leaving, and I was like, oh, you know what, I wouldn't mind actually maybe doing one of these challenges one day. And it was like Bash was just like to me. Bash, for those of you who don't know, is one of the other co-owners of the gym with yourself and Paul. Bash was like to me, yeah, just sign right here, mate. And I was like, oh, I might just have to go and just do that. And he's like, no, just sign up. And and he just kind of forced me into it, but it was the best thing that happened, because otherwise I definitely would have gone home and I would have mulled over it and not done it. And then the experience that I gained from it was absolutely priceless.
Mate, it's like it's a different kind of experience, the FightFit challenge. I think there's some crazy stat. It's like only 1% of people actually ever step into the ring.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
As in people who train.
People who train,
wow.
Full boxing, yeah. It's it can be a daunting thought from the start, knowing that you have to go in there to fight someone, and then on top of that, knowing that your friends are going to be watching, family's going to be watching. Have you trained hard enough? Have you fit enough? It's all these things that come into play. But it's, so if you've done it, I take my hat off to anyone who's ever stepped into the ring. At any level.
And I mean, it's also at the Melbourne Pavilion as well. It's in front of thousands of people. And you're like, you know what? Really don't want to get punched in the face, but most of all, what I don't want is to get beaten up in front of my mates.
That is the main the kicker there.
No one wants to get bashed in front of their mates. But I found one of the things that really was a shock to me was the level of training that we had to put in. And you can't half-ass it at all. Because you're going there 3 times a week. It's hour-and-a-half sessions. Every single time you're pushing your body to the limits. I think it was the second or third session where Paul made us all get down and do 100 burpees. And we were just all knackered by the end of it. We get up, putting our gloves on really sheepishly. And then Paul's like, oh, another 100. Because somebody didn't put their gloves on quick enough. Poor bloke. And then did that. Get another
trainings.
Even
with just the burpee stuff.
It
makes you have to be disciplined to do all these things, and the intensity that you guys train at, it's next level, man.
It's breaking barriers and sort of pushing your limits to beyond what you thought you were capable of, without a doubt.
Who would have thought in your first session you'd have to do 300 burpees?
No.
In the first one.
You tell me I do 20 burpees and I'll probably walk out the door, but we couldn't because everyone's doing it together.
But the thing is, if you had said, if Paul said to you, today we're going to do 300, you'd just be like, no, there's no chance. But when you're in that environment and you're in that session, at that moment, like, you just have to do it.
There's no way that you're not doing it and the rest of the guys are.
You're not going to be that one person that costs everyone else more burpees or
totally. And it's sort of like that mental fortitude that was one of the things that I really took from that challenge, was being able to push your limits. And then in that sense, that's why it was sort of life-changing for myself and for many others that I know, because it changes the way you train. It changes the way it changes your outlook on training, on general life, on thinking that things are too difficult, and your general productivity as well. I'm sure, as you would know as a personal.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, when you do something that's physically that demanding, then some day-to-day stuff just becomes not that hard, not that difficult all of a sudden. And when you start feeling strong, confident, fit about yourself, like mentally and physically, you can do whatever you want. It's pretty unbelievable. It's pretty crazy.
Definitely. So the FightFit challenge is the one that I did. And 2 weeks ago, I actually went and did a session with the guys who are going to do the FightFit Games. Maybe you want to give a bit of context about the FightFit Games.
So the FightFit Games. So at the gym, we've got 2 separate things. We've got boxing, kickboxing, and strength and conditioning. So with the boxing and kickboxing, we've got the FightFit Challenge, but we've never had anything for the strength and conditioning side of stuff. So we decided to create the FightFit Games, which is similar to the challenge, where it's an 8-week training program where there's focus on strength and metabolic conditioning. And at the end of it, there's a competition against your fellow members. So you can either compete against them, or if you just want to compete against yourself, that's fine also. So there's 2 components of the FightFit Games. There's the strength component. So which is like your deadlift, your squat, your bench press. Your aim is to try and get super strong in those 3 lifts. And so we've got an online strength program that was set up by Mark Derrick, who's one of our strength coaches. So you're doing the strength program by yourself and in small groups. And then just the classes that we run normally. So our strength and conditioning classes, our power circuit classes, those are tailored for the conditioning side of stuff. So man, that's basically it. And then throughout the 8 weeks, you get body scan done pre, during, and post.
Yeah.
So you can kind of track, if you're losing body fat, gaining body fat, gaining muscle, losing
Yeah.
muscle, and it's pretty cool to see those results as you progress over the 8 weeks.
Hugely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be actually focusing quite a lot on that FightFit Games, which is just started last week.
Started last week.
Yeah.
So this week will be the start of week 2.
Yep. So during the podcast for the next 10 weeks, we're going to be interviewing participants of the podcast. We're going to be interviewing coaches, physio, nutritionists, and maybe a few special guests, but I don't want to give away everything all at once, I guess. And we're going to basically be looking at goal setting and from the start to the finish, how it improves people's lives, but not only how it improves their fitness, their sleep, their home life, their work life, their general productivity. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be it's the first time that we've done it properly like this. So it's gonna be great to see, like you said, the progress of people and how it affects not just their training, their physical self, but also how it affects their day-to-day, how their work and their home life.
Yeah, because that's the thing that got me really sort of passionate about this, and sort of seeing people reach their goals was all of the other aspects to that fitness sort of gives. So I used to be 110 kilos. I used to be quite a lot bigger than I was, and then I moved to London and I started boxing. And then over the next few years, I managed to lose about 30 kilos.
That's
and
awesome,
the amount of difference that's made in my life has been absolutely just unbelievable. And the challenge itself then took that to the next level for me. So I'm really passionate about seeing people sort of reach their goals as well. And the fact that we can measure it with numbers as well. Like that you're saying.
It's so with the games, you mean? It's gonna be amazing. So we can compare the numbers and also all the other stuff.
Because you get up every day and you look at yourself in the mirror and you do the same training, and sometimes you feel like you may have plateaued a little bit. But to see that you actually are getting results through those numbers is a really awesome thing.
Yeah, and I think especially with like say the strength component of it, like you're tracking your weights weekly. You're actually seeing yourself get stronger as those 8 weeks progress. And the mid scan, you're actually seeing what's changing in your body. And then at the end, hopefully, we've got some good results.
Yeah, awesome. So the scan, is that like a measure of like your sort of muscle levels and?
Yeah, so the scan, it's a body analysis scan, which it basically just measures how much lean muscle mass you have, how much fat mass. So those are the two things that we focus on. It's just the lean muscle mass and your percentage of body fat. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but those are the main two that we're going to focus on.
Yeah, sweet.
For the games.
Yeah, cool. And the coaches, do you want to maybe tell a little bit about the coaches that we've got on and their sort of backgrounds as well?
Yeah,
the trainers.
We've got some amazing coaches. For example, they're all amazing, but Tony Tocasio, he's head of the strength and conditioning at Collingwood.
He's
won I don't know how many Australian titles in raw powerlifting. So he's been in the fitness game for maybe 40 years. He's been Australian kickboxing champ. So the wealth of knowledge that you have with Tony on that side, it's crazy, man. And then over here in South Melbourne, we've got Mark Derrick, who's doing his masters in strength and conditioning. We've got Cameron Ice, got Davey Trotter.
I did one of Dave's classes last week, and I can safely say that was probably one of the hardest classes I've ever done. But it was a little bit self-inflicted because I walked in there trying to think that I could go a bit heavier than I really could. And I think that it's a really good idea to keep the weights a little bit down on your first session, because obviously, the volume of lifting that you're doing is.
So look, you got to be a little bit smart with those things, but it's like anything, man. It can be scaled. So all those workouts, they're made to do. They're as hard as you make it, basically. So, just depending on the person, what their strength level is at that time, will be equally as hard as someone who's not as strong as them, but for them it still feels as hard as the other one. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah, totally. I mean, I think my ego got a little bit in the way there,
That's all right. That's
and I wanted to match it with the guys who had been doing it every week. But these guys had been coming a few times every week, and I actually, when it got to the chin up part of the circuit, my fingers and my hands and wrists and everything started cramping.
Like in the T-Rex.
Yeah, and I actually, Dave told me that I can't do the chin ups anymore. So I was on a modified program, which was really embarrassing. But I think it's cool that anybody can come in, and no matter what your level is, though,
yeah, man,
you just modify your weights, and you can do the same thing as everybody else. So no matter what your level is, and no matter how old or young you are, or no matter what your fitness level is, you can come and do that challenge, and you can kick goals.
Yeah, man. So
you may not have the best results in the world, but you're still going to improve, and you're still going to reach your goals.
Yeah. So look, you might not win the overall competition, but if you're competing just against yourself for those 8 weeks, then you're winning basically. So you're going to get stronger. You're going to get leaner. And if you're just doing that for yourself, then that's amazing.
Yeah. What do you think the most important parts are of in terms of dieting and in terms of sleep, and what are the really important parts?
They all play massive roles in getting results. The main ones are though consistency. So having a consistent training plan. Yeah. Even if you don't feel like training on the day, still get up, still go through a routine, just do it regardless. Doesn't matter. Yeah. The next one would be nutrition. Yeah. That plays a major role. So we've put some general nutrition guidelines out, but we're not dietitians or nutritionists. So we recommend that if you're struggling on that side of things, you should definitely see a professional to help you out, because that makes a gigantic difference.
That's something that I've actually been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah, man.
But I've just never gotten really around to it. It's to see a professional nutritionist.
Like if you've lost 30 kilos by yourself, and without like heaps of nutrition knowledge, imagine what you could do. Yeah, if you had someone that could guide you.
Yeah, I completely just wing it.
Yeah, well, mate, it's maybe that's the next step.
Yeah, and I know I'm by no means an expert, but I know that there's different sort of body types as well, and that according to your different body type is how you should be training, how you should be eating, and if you don't know that, then the results that you get obviously won't be as good as if you did know what body type you are and how to cater to that.
Look, at the end of the day, man, look, there is different body types, but we're all all made of the same stuff. Yeah. So if you're talking about losing weight or fat, then it's pretty simple. You have to be in a calorie deficit. Yeah. There's no way around that really. I myself, I personally don't know heaps about different body types and what different trainings suits different body types. And to be honest, I don't actually really believe in that too much. Yeah. I think it's one of those things. It is personalized. Yeah. But it's not like one body type you have to do this. Yeah. The other you have to do that. I don't really believe that. Yeah. To be honest.
What are some of the things that you do sort of really preach in terms of what you would tell your clients that you personally train?
Yeah. So look, man. So try and be consistent with a healthy diet. Like you're not going to be perfect. Yeah. But try and eat as healthy as you can. Try and get enough protein in to start with.
It can be hard to maintain a balance though, hey?
Oh, mate.
Because if you're I find that this is my downfall is that I'll have a really great diet for a few weeks and then I'll make up for it tenfold when I drop the ball. Like,
well, this is the thing. It's better to have an okay diet for a month.
Yeah, rather than good for a week, shit for 2 weeks.
Spot on diet for 5 days and then drink piss for 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which a lot of us do. You know? But the advice that I would give is try and get a consistent diet going. Consistently lift weights. Yep. And obviously get some cardio in boxing, kickboxing, or running, but that's boring.
So as in, I think like the balance part of things is really important. And I'm sort of really learning as I go, even with this chat right now. It's really important to be able to sort of have that balance. And I think maybe writing things down can be a really important thing, and like having a diary or like a structure type thing. So could be awesome.
There's a couple of different things you can do, man. So you might think you've got a good diet, but once you start writing it down and actually like seeing, little things that you eat during the day that you might not, like, subconsciously, you don't think about it. But if you've written it down, you go, oh fuck, at the end I've had a couple of Snicker bars, had a few chips, a few extra nuts, and all of a sudden your calorie deficit has vanished for that day, but you still thought you had a good diet. And just little things, man. So definitely writing down what you eat, and also writing down when you train, and what you've done for that day, just so you can track it, man.
Do you like to take it in like a week by week sort of basis? So like once a week you might do some cardio, or twice a week cardio, twice a week weights, like that sort of thing, or
week by week, man. So look, there's so many different ways to do it. Depends on what you're doing, what you're training for. But like, let's take for the FightFit Games, for example. I would say to do three strength sessions a week, and 2 conditioning sessions a week.
And conditioning is more cardio.
So the conditioning sessions is cardio. So, but that's like, for example, our power circuit classes, which is a bit more like muscular endurance, and cardiovascular based classes. So burpees, row, assault bike, push ups, sit ups, stuff that everyone hates.
That's the tough stuff. But that's the stuff that really sort of enhances your fitness, though.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, if you get on that assault bike and you do a minute hard, it's, there's nothing quite like it.
The lactic acids that build up.
Yeah, it's horrible.
As I said when I did that class with Dave, the other week, I was just so knackered by the end of it, and I was like, "Geez, I've lifted weights a lot in my life, but when I do the technique right, and I really like focus on that technique, it's just like you really feel it. It just burns that muscle so badly."
Man. It's but that's the thing. It's just starting and like maybe choosing a lighter weight at the start, and then just being consistent. Consistently doing it every week.
So you've seen 10 FightFit challenges go by.
FightFit challenge?
I mean, FightFit challenges.
I mean, I think this will be our 20th one.
Yeah.
So I've seen
10 years of it. Sorry.
10 years of it, man. So God,
2 a year.
If you work that out, with over 800 people who've done the FightFit challenge. That's crazy. I think this year, actually, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's our 10th year anniversary. Doing the FightFit challenge.
Have you had any particular success stories around the gym?
Oh, mate. Anyone that does it is success. But one of my clients in particular, her name's Sonia Van Til. She lost over 60 kilos while she was training. A few years before the challenge.
It's like a whole person.
Mate, it's like a whole person. It is a whole person. So she was a gun. She trained super hard for her first fight. And then she had another one and fought well in both of them.
So when she came, was she significantly overweight?
Yeah, man. She she probably wasn't when she started with me, it was probably a few years before she did the challenge. So it was just over time she started shaving off the 60 kilos, which is unreal. Really,
60 kilos is just next level.
And if you see her now, man, she's a machine.
Really? So she's still going,
still training, still doing all the FightFit classes, man, getting her strength up. She's had a few knee recos, but still keeps going.
I think generally people have a lot of limiting beliefs, and especially when it comes to boxing or martial arts. People think that they can't do it. What are some of the limiting beliefs that you see, and how do you think we should combat that?
Some of the limiting things, man, I guess it's quite an intimidating or daunting thing for a new person, especially females, to go, I want to try boxing. And having to walk into a boxing gym. In your head, it's a grungy, grimy,
sweating,
some old
gym,
man yelling at you in the background.
Hip hop in the background.
Hip hop, but it's definitely not that at all, man. Like once you actually come into the gym, especially FightFit, there's heaps of other gyms that are awesome now. You'll see that like the trainers are super nice. Like, everyone's there to learn. Everyone's there to help each other. It's the perceived thought of what a boxing gym is. It's not what it is. Not what it used to be. I should say.
And in terms of people's limiting beliefs, in terms of their own physical well-being as well. What are some of the most common ones that you see? And Sonia's a really good example as well of how she might have overcome that.
Yeah, man. So I remember training Sonia her bursting out in tears because she couldn't jump over a line. Like I drew a line on the ground with chalk, and she physically could not get herself to jump over that line.
As in just like a little tiny
like a
jump.
line on the ground. Like
Yeah.
not even like a box or anything.
Mm.
You know, and to go from that to having a fight, it's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's and I think it was just the gaining the confidence through boxing.
Yeah.
You know, feeling better about yourself.
Yeah.
Feeling stronger, fitter. All those things equate to being able to do
Absolutely
heaps of different stuff, and that you didn't think you could do.
And you can really channel your sort of emotions into it as well. I find it extremely therapeutic that with boxing, because often when you're hitting the pads or the bags, you're not focusing on anything but what's right in front of you, which is just so therapeutic. And
it's very boxing's very like meditative, as such, because you know you're there in the moment. You have to think about what you're doing. You can't think of anything else. You have to think about the combination, what's happening around you, like focusing on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 40 minutes has gone by.
Yeah.
And without knowing, you've actually been mindful for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Whilst getting fit.
Yeah.
And learning a new skill. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's really many better ways to do it in terms of achieving your sort of fitness goals. You can be learning an awesome skill. It's not the mundane sort of exercise of just going to the gym and repeating the same thing all the time, or going running. You're actually learning new skills and pushing yourself, and also having people around you who are doing the same thing is important as well. So, support networks too.
So a lot of people think that you know, coming to the boxing gym, it's a solo sport.
Yeah.
But it's really quite the opposite. Like it is a massive team sport. Like, not just your coaches and everyone looking after you, but the people that you train with, man. Like members or FightFit Challenge. It's all about those people around you. Like it's definitely not a solo sport.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that can throw people off, is they think they're coming in to just do it by themselves.
Yeah.
But it's so far from the truth.
Yeah. Awesome. How are we looking for time? I think we wanted to keep this about 20 minutes, so I think we might have to wrap it up soon.
Might have to, man.
Yeah, we don't want to chew people's ears off too much. Yeah.
Maybe they've understood my mumbling.
So yeah, just a bit about the weeks to come.
Yep.
Next week, I'm hoping to get some of the participants of the FightFit Games on the show. Can we call it a show? I don't know if we can call it a show.
It's a show.
So I want to get maybe 4 participants, and then sort of measure their goals, and take notes of what they're wanting to achieve, and just chat to them about how their training's going. So awesome. For anybody who has any sort of feedback as well, who's watched this, please feel free to get in touch. Really open to suggestions about things we can do, things that you'd like to hear, suggestions for episodes in the future. So yeah, just let us know any suggestions that you've got. Once again, thank you so much for watching this, whether you're doing it live or in the future.
Yeah, thanks guys, and thanks Jake for hosting the first one.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
podcast.
Cheers, Ruan. Awesome.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Too easy, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Awesome. Boom.